Hello, and welcome to Intermediate English with Gregg. That's me. So, let's get started. Well, let's warm up with the weather.
Gregg, how's the weather today?
It's hailing today. It's hailing today. Hailing. Maybe this is a new word. Let's check the board. Of course, the question, how's the weather today? And for today's answer, we're using this phrase, it's hailing. This word, hailing. Do you know the word hailing? Of course, hailing, it's not snow, it's not rain, okay? But it looks like, it looks like a small white ball, a small white pellet. Of course, in Japanese, maybe you call it hyo. Okay? So, of course, this does not happen in many situations, but there are a few cases when we have this kind of weather. And in that case, it's this, maybe a new word, the word hailing. It's hailing. So, I'll ask the question, please use today's phrase. So, how's the weather today? Great. Now, for today's lesson. Well, for today's lesson, we're just going to review and talk about some situations. Now, this is our, of course, fourth lesson about restaurants. In the first three, we talked about the basic ordering, we talked about the menu and recommending something, and then finally we talked about a few special situations. Now, for today, there is no conversation. I'm going to explain a situation to you, and you think, in that case, what question or what phrase should I use? Now, whether you are the customer, whether you are the restaurant, that's not important. Can you remember the phrases we have discussed? Now, if you have not watched the three previous videos, you might want to go back and watch them first. Or, if you like a challenge, great, maybe you don't need to watch those, and you can still try to think of a question to ask in these situations. So I'll explain the situation, you tell me which phrase to use. Our first situation, the first order. This is maybe the most basic question. When a customer sits down, this is often the very first question the server or the restaurant staff will ask. Do you know what, can you remember what that question is? I'm sure you do. It was that basic question of, using the word would like, and just the question, what would you like? Maybe the most basic question used to order at the restaurant. Our second situation, maybe the customer must choose between two items. It might be something like bread or rice. It might be like coffee or tea, soup or salad. But you want to give them the choice. How do you ask them about the choice of if they want A or if they want B? Can you remember this question? I'll give you a hint. This does use the pattern would like. I'm sure you remember. We're going to give them the choice of A or B. So, asking them, would you like A or B. Right? So would you like bread or rice? Would you like soup or salad? You are giving them the choice. Right? For our third case, recommendations. When the customer asks you, right, what do you recommend? How do you answer that question? Right? What do you recommend? How do you answer that question? Great. Now, there were many ways to answer this question. We talked about the word specialty, okay? Like our specialty is something something. We talked about something is our most popular dish. Okay? But the standard answer to what do you recommend, I'm sure you understand. Right? Just using the word recommend. Right? We recommend, right, something. Right? Now, the reason we use we, right, of course, personally, you can say I recommend is okay too. But we recommend means, as the restaurant, right, they are all, as the restaurant, we recommend something something. But don't worry, if you want to use the word I recommend, that of course is okay. Our fourth situation, okay? Maybe the customer orders steak, okay? But you don't know what kind of cooking style the customer wants for their steak. So, what question do you ask them? Great. This was that question about cooking or preparing using how would you like. Asking the question, how would you like your steak? Okay. Now we talked about other cases with eggs, maybe that Japanese sake, shochu, even something like yakitori. You could ask them, how would you like your yakitori? Maybe the salt taste or like the teriyaki taste. Okay. But how would you like? Okay. Our fifth case was about this situation of allergies. Okay. So maybe you want to ask, or the restaurant would ask you, okay, about allergies, foods that maybe you cannot eat. Okay. Do you remember how to ask this question? Now there were two patterns, okay, to ask about allergies. Can you remember one of those questions? Now this one's not hard. Right? This is just a simple question, do you have? Right? And just ask them, do you have any food allergies? Right? Now, of course, we could ask them, right? Are you allergic to any foods? That was the other question. Right? But here, do you have any food allergies? Right? Our final five situations, right? Maybe there is a lunch set or a dinner set or a dinner course. Right? And maybe the customer asks the question, right, about what is in the lunch set. Right? So maybe they ask, what does this come with, or what is in this lunch set? Right? How do you answer the customer's question about the lunch set or even a dinner course? Yes? Huh? Okay. The one easy word to use that we talked about was the word it comes with. Okay. So it comes with soup and salad. Okay. Or it comes with salad and dessert. Okay. So you're going to talk about everything in the set. Now, of course, you could use the word that something is included in the set, like soup is included in the set. Okay. But maybe the easiest word to use was the word comes with. Our seventh situation, okay? Maybe the customer orders ice cream. But at the shop or at the restaurant, there are, of course, a large variety of ice creams, from strawberry to chocolate to vanilla to matcha. So, what question do you ask the customer? They order, "I'd like ice cream, please." But you want to check about the variety of ice cream. What question can you ask them? Yes, we are back to this question of would like, and just asking the question, what kind of, in this case, ice cream would you like? Right? To check the variety, using the word what kind of would you like? Right? Our last three situations, right? Talking about the last order or maybe the end of the order. So maybe they have ordered the main dish, they've ordered their drinks, maybe they've ordered a dessert. As the final question, before you bring them their meal, this is most often the final question asked during ordering. Can you remember what the final question is when ordering something at a restaurant? What question does the restaurant staff ask last? Great. Again, using the word would like, asking would you like, there was that key word, anything else. Would you like anything else? If the answer is no, then that's the end of the order. Or perhaps the customer will remember that they wanted to order one more thing. But this is often the final question. Right? Do you remember the idea of the draft beer? Right? Now, of course, we could use the question, what kind of draft beer? Like the customer might ask, what kind of draft beer do you have? Right? But in a previous lesson, we did talk about a special question used to ask about draft beer. Now, this is often a question by the customer. When the customer wants to know about the kind of draft beer, do you remember the special question? Great. That was that key word, of course. What do you have? That was the word on tap. Okay. What do you have on tap? Okay. Maybe this is talking about the kind of draft beer that they have. And our final situation, again, the customer might ask this when they cannot finish eating all of their lunch or all of their dinner, and a part of it they want to take home or take out with them. Do you remember the special question a customer might ask? Yeah, this one was a little bit unique, but it was using that word, doggy bag. Well, they'll ask the question, can I have a doggy bag? Right. Well, these were 10 situations that we talked about. Right. Now, the next time we do our lessons, we are going to continue the restaurant about some troubles at a restaurant, talking about maybe some of the prices at a restaurant, the ways that people pay, the ways that people eat something. But those are all for future lessons. Right? For today, this is all. Right? So, see you next time.